All right, let's start, guys. So we have completed till 9th question. There are just two more questions left. I'll quickly finish this off so that we can, we will be done with this standard in toto. Sale and lease back problem. Now he says, I'll read out the question. Okay, and then we will get into the context of what it is about. AB Limited owns machinery, original cost of which is 10 lakhs, useful life 10 years. Company charges depreciation at the rate of 20% per annum using reducing balance method. So the company has decided to sell this machinery at the beginning of 6th year at 4 lakhs to DQ Limited. The buyer leases the machine back to AB Limited for a lease term of 5 years at 1 lakh lease rental per annum payable in arrears and guaranteed residual value of 1 lakh at the end of lease term. Lessee's incremental borrowing rate is 13.5% per annum. Advice on accounting in the books of lessee after making assumptions as appropriate. Now, first of all, this is a case of sale and lease back. Now, whenever there is a sale and lease back, I'll first explain the concept, then we will get into the problem. Yeah. I'll first explain the concept on a whiteboard, then we will get into the accounting part of it. So whenever you have a sale and lease back, initially when you sell, there would be either a profit or a loss. Yes or no? Okay. Now, whenever there is this profit or loss, this profit or loss should not be immediately recognized in P&L when it is being leased back by me again. Instead, what is supposed to be done is a deferred lease revenue, lease reserve account is to be created, into which you would be transferring the amount of profit or loss on sale of the asset. Okay, and this deferred lease reserve is going to be written off over the lease period by the lessee. This is what's supposed to be done whenever there is a sale and lease back transaction. Now, I'll take it with an example and do. Okay. For example, right now in my balance sheet, I have 20,000 rupees worth of asset. 20,000 rupees worth of asset. This asset I sold to a party for 25,000. And took it back on lease. Why do we enter into such transaction? Because I am right now in a cash crunch. I need that machine, but I'm in a cash crunch. So what I would do is, I would legally transfer the asset to other party, but physically it's going to be with me only. Then only I call it as sale and lease back transaction. Now by doing this, I actually have a profit of 5,000 here. Yes or no? What standard says is, this 5,000 should not be recognized in P&L immediately. Don't do that. Instead, what should you do? This 5,000 of profit is supposed to be parked in an account called deferred lease reserve. Okay, deferred lease reserve. And this deferred lease reserve is going to be recognized as income. Initially, you are showing it as a reserve. In future period, you are going to recognize this as income over the life of the lease. For example, this asset, after selling it off, you have taken it back on lease for 5 years. Okay. Every year you will be paying lease rental, no? You will be passing one lease rental entry for the expense and the principal payment. Alongside, you will recognize 1,000 rupees of income in your P&L out of this 5,000 recognized. Okay, this is what standard suggests you to do. Okay, now having explained this part, now let us get into the question what he is saying. Let's get into the question what he is talking about, and see how we have to account for it. Okay, now AB Limited owns a machinery, original cost of which is 10 lakhs. I think I don't need to read the problem once again. We will directly jump into the solution. Okay, so let's look into the solution. So first of all, you're supposed to calculate from the information given. If you observe, he says he did not tell you the book value, current book value at all. So I should first calculate what is the book value. Only then I'll get to know whether I'm selling it off for a profit or loss, yes or no. So first let us calculate the book value. Calculation of book value at the end of year 5 or beginning of year 6, whatever it be. Okay. So year opening balance, depreciation, closing balance. Okay. So year 1 to 5. Opening balance is mentioned as 10 lakhs. Okay. Depreciation is mentioned as 20% on the above. Okay. It is WDV. Okay. So opening balance is again going to be this. Okay. So that means my book value at the end of 5th year is 3,27,680. Okay. 3,27,680 rupees worth of asset. I'm selling it for 4 lakhs. Yes or no? So sale price is 4 lakhs. So I get a profit of this minus this, which is 72,320. 72,320 is my profit which I am making on sale of this particular asset. Am I allowed to recognize this fully in the current year? No, I'm supposed to defer it. So first entry on sale entry is gonna be bank account debit. Value is 4 lakhs to asset, which is book value. Okay. To deferred lease reserve, which is the profit. Okay. So this is the first entry which you are supposed to write. And thereafter, now you are supposed to recognize the asset as if it's a freshly taken leased asset. Okay. Now, on sale of the asset, you do not know after the sale is done. Don't think that your book value is 3,27,680 at all. You are now supposed to think afresh, completely freshly, that as if you never knew about this asset. Okay, that means you are supposed to calculate the fair value of the asset considering present value of future cash flows at IRR of borrower. Okay, IRR of lessor. So did he tell you details of details? He has told you that you are going to pay 1 lakh as lease rental, and at the end of 5th year you are also going to give a guaranteed residual value of 1 lakh. That means values of cash flows are mentioned. Over and above that, he also gave you lessee's incremental borrowing rate is 13.5%. That means I'm assuming that this is the rate at which lessor also would have operated. Okay. So let us take the same parameters and prepare now. Now let us prepare worksheet for lessee. Worksheet for lessee I'm preparing. Please see year and cash flows. Okay. So years from 0 would not be there. Only from 1 we are supposed to take. 5 years. Okay. Each year 1 lakh is the cash flow. Okay. I'll take it as full value otherwise. So 5th year alone it is 2 lakhs because there is GRV also. Okay. And I'll take discount factor at 13.5%. So is equal to 1 divided by 1.135. You get something. That divided by 1.135, you get something. Okay. So all years and discounted cash flows would be this into this. Clear? So let us see what is the present value. The present value has come to 4,565,000. 4,565,000 is the present value. Okay. But when you observe, right now the asset is sold for 4 lakhs. Yes or no? That means your fair value, what you have calculated now using the present value factor is 4,565,000, which is greater than 4 lakhs. In which case, what rate will you take? Only 4 lakhs you will consider and go ahead with accounting, because the lower of these two is supposed to be considered. That's what we have discussed in the morning also. Okay. So 4,565,000 or 4 lakhs, whichever is lower. Okay. Whichever is lower. So it is going to be 4 lakhs, which I will consider. Clear? So 4 lakhs let us consider and go ahead with our repayment schedule. Repayment schedule. So you have particulars and opening balance, interest, repayment, closing balance. Okay. So years are 5 years. Okay. Opening balance happens to be 4 lakhs. On that, interest is gonna be at 13.5%. Repayment is 1 lakh. Okay. Closing is going to be 4 lakhs plus 54,000 minus 1 lakh. Okay. So 1 lakh is the same for all 4 years, but 5th year alone, it is 2 lakhs. Okay. Closing balance is going to be this. So 1,000 rupees of difference, I'll adjust it against interest cost. So I'll take interest as 24,726.6. Okay. So that it becomes 0. Clear? So this is my repayment schedule. Once this is done, we can go ahead with accounting. So interest is known. Interest is known. So let us go ahead with accounting. Accounting in the books of lessee. Okay. So I'll copy down the entries from here. Okay. So leased asset account debit to lessor. Values what we will be taking is values what I would be taking is going to be 4 lakhs. Yes or no? By the way, did he ask you for all the accounting part or not? Yeah, he did ask you. Okay. So lease asset account debit to lessor value is going to be 4 lakhs, what I would consider. Okay. Lessor is going to be 4 lakhs. Then interest expense, every year I am going to take this positive and negative. Okay. Just like previous problem. For 5 years, we have all the data now. Okay. Repayment entry. Repayment entry, please see. Repayment is 1 lakh. Okay. Minus 1 lakh. And last year it is 2 lakhs. Depreciation we are supposed to calculate. Okay. Depreciation. What is the value of depreciation? I'm supposed to take it at WDV. Okay. So calculation would not be appropriate in, so depreciation would be for first year, it's going to be on 4 lakhs 20%. Yes or no? So that is equal to 4 lakhs into 0.2. Okay. Minus this. So second year is going to be 4 lakhs minus this value into 0.2. Okay. Clear? So oh, it is, yeah, fine. I think I have taken it. Okay. Minus 80,000 into 0.2, 64,000. Okay. So third year, it's going to be third year, it's going to be C59 to D59 into 0.2. So that is 51,200. Okay. So I'll make this also static so that it keeps changing. So next year it is 40,960 and fifth year it is 32,768. Okay. So what I did here is nothing but I have calculated depreciation at WDV. Okay. WDV at 20%. If you calculate, you would get the same values. I'm applying a formula here. However, you can do it manually also. Okay. So this is the entry for depreciation, and then P&L account debit would be, so interest expense is known to us 54,000 and all that stuff, and depreciation is also known to us, which is 80,000 and all that stuff. Okay. So lakh and 34,000 is the amount of depreciation which you is the amount what you transfer to P&L as expense. Okay. Now apart from this, you also have something called as deferred lease reserve. Sorry, no, deferred lease reserve, which I told you it should be now transferred to P&L as income. Okay. So that is the only new thing which you are learning in sale and lease back. Okay. Number 6. reversal of deferred lease revenue. Okay, to P&L. To P&L. What would be the entry? Deferred lease revenue reserve account debit. I have mentioned it as revenue here. Sorry, it is reserve. Deferred lease reserve account debit to P&L. Now, what rate would you take? Just in the method of depreciation, whatever you have charged, you can take. You can take that as the basis and do. Okay. Now, if you observe, I have taken 20% each year. 20% each year. That is in the ratio of 80,000, 64,000. This is the ratio which I can adopt. Okay. So let me calculate that in the same ratio. So 2,68,928 is the total of all these values, depreciation values. So I'm going to calculate the value for each of these now is equal to your deferred income. What you have recognized is, oh, by the way, we have not written that first entry. Let us write that entry first. Entry on sale. Yeah, entry on sale is written here. Yes or no? So this is what I'm talking about. Deferred lease reserve 72,320. Okay. So this 72,320 is supposed to be transferred to P&L over 5 periods in the ratio of your depreciation. Okay. So is equal to, I'll directly go there, take that value into first year depreciation divided by total depreciation. Okay. So 21,513 is what I'm going to charge in the first year as is what I'm going to recognize as income. Okay. So what I'll do is I'll apply some restrictions so that numbers don't change. Okay. So here it is. I'm taking credits as negative. Clear? So with this, all your numbers are done. So if you total up all this, it is 72,320 only. Please see in the bottom, sum is 72,320. What I did is nothing but I have taken for the first amount, for the first year, I have taken 80,000 as the basis for charging, for recognizing income in P&L out of the total 72,320. Okay. So 72,320 into 80,000 divided by 2,68,928. What is 2,68,928? Total of all depreciation in 5 years. Total of all depreciations in 5 years. That's the basis what I am taking. Okay. And that is how I have recognized the income over 5 P&Ls. Clear? So in sale and lease back, this is something new which you have learnt. This is something new which you have learnt. And in the beginning, this entry on sale is something which is new for you. Okay. Apart from that, everything is normal. Everything is normal. Okay. So this is what we have done. So let's go ahead with next question. I hope you guys understood it. Okay. So last question in this particular topic, a very simple question. I'll read out, please see. Operating lease and recognition of lease payments. Ramesh takes an oil tanker on lease for a 4-year period for which period he has secured a contract with Oil India to transport oil from Chennai to Neyveli. The contract was entered into on 1/1/2012, and the rentals agreed are 60,000, 50,000, 40,000, and 30,000 respectively. His other expenses and incomes from operating the tanker are given below: diesel and oil, driver's salary, admin overheads, hire paid by Oil India. Show how Ramesh should treat this transaction in the financial statements. Now, first thing important is he's asking you how you should expense that lease rentals being paid over the 4 years. Okay. Now, let us see if we can go by any basis given below. Diesel and oil, it is varying, and moreover, lease rental is for a particular period rather than the diesel and oil spent. Per month, you are paying that lease rental. Yes or no? Next, driver's salary is almost same every year. Okay, every month. Admin overheads, it's changing, and also again, it's not the right basis for you to take. Hire paid by Oil India, that is actually the correct basis for you, because for the revenue what you are earning, whether you are actually spending the same amount towards your contract or not is something we should look at. Okay. Now in this case, if you observe 90,000, 95,000, 1 lakh 96,000, that means it's on an average maximum of 10,000 rupees of difference. That means it is on an average almost the same value which is there throughout the 4 years. Yes or no? 4 periods. In which case, what standard suggests is if the revenues what you are generating are almost the same, the standard suggests you to straight line the lease rentals which you are paying to your lessor. Okay. That means what does straight lining mean? Sum up all the lease rentals you are paying, that is 60,000, 50,000, 40,000, 30,000. All put together, how much is it? Lakh and 80,000. Lakh and 80,000, and you divide it by 4. For 4 periods you are paying it. Yes or no? So it's going to be 45,000 per year, which you are supposed to straight away recognize as expense over 4 years, is what standard suggests whenever you don't have a proper basis. Okay. So let us take that in let us take that in consideration and do that now. So I will I'll explain it once again. Now, whenever you have lease rentals which you are paying, which are not static, which are not the same in all periods, that is, which are varying, it might either be in an increasing trend or a decreasing trend. In such case, what standard suggests is you can straight line them, is what standard suggests. What does straight lining mean? Straight lining means you will add up all the expenses you are incurring on lease and divided by number of years for which you are entering into that lease transaction. This is basically a operating lease. Okay. So you are going to consider only 45,000 rupees as expense for each year, instead of considering 60,000, 50,000, 40 and 30,000 for each of these years. Okay. So that is what standard suggests you to do. Yeah, following SLM basis, that's all. Okay. So let us do the last problem in leases. Okay. So I'll prepare that profit and loss statement. Okay. Particulars and years. So from 2012 we are starting. So 2012, 13, 14, 15, 16. Okay. I think it's only 4 years. Yeah. 4 years, 2015 ends. Okay. So initially start with revenue. Revenue, he has directly told you 90,000, 95,000, 1 lakh and 96,000. Okay. $96,000. Next. Cost. Costs, if you observe, there are multiple costs which he has given. So he has given you diesel and oil, which is 10,000, 16,000, 18,000, 16,000. Okay. Then you have driver salary. Driver salary, which is 20, 21, 21, and 22. Okay. Then you have admin expenses, which is 10, 10, 13, 14. Okay. Lastly, now you are supposed to take your lease rentals. Okay. Lease rentals, I'll show you the working here. It is basically, you have 60, 50, 40, 30. Yes or no? Is equal to 60 plus 50 plus 40 plus 30 whole divided by 4. 45,000. Okay. So take 45,000 for all the 4 years. Okay. So I'm gonna open the formula and keep it for you for your reference. Okay. So on deducting this, what you get is profit for the company. So is equal to revenue minus sum of all the costs. Okay. So for 4 years, you have got profits. First 3 years, it is positive. Last year, it is negative. That means it's a loss. Profit slash loss. Okay. So this is the presentation for you in your P&L. Now, how would it impact my balance sheet? In the balance sheet, the impact would be like this. You will have something called as prepaid rent. Prepaid rent. How much would be the prepaid rent? You actually paid 60,000, okay, of which you have recognized only 45,000 of expense. That means 15,000 would be the prepaid rent. First year closing balance of prepaid rent. Yes or no? Second year, what happens? You have an opening balance of 15,000 plus you paid 50,000. However, you are recognizing only 40,000 of 45,000 of rent. That means in second year, you will have a closing balance of prepaid rent of 20,000. Okay. In third year, if you see, you have 20,000 of opening balance plus you paid 40,000 of rent minus you have actually recognized only 45,000 of rent. In such case, you will have a closing balance of 15,000. In fourth year, what will happen? I have an opening balance of 15,000 plus I am paying 30,000 of rent minus I have paid 45,000. Automatically, it becomes 0. This is the presentation. This is the presentation which will be there in case it is done. Okay, for prepaid rent, for lease expenses, whatever you are incurring. Okay. Any doubts? Please feel free to ask. Sir, accounting treatment of operating lease only is this lease rental, sir. This part. It is nothing but you are straight lining. You are finding out, you are identifying all the lease rentals here. 60,000, 50,000, 40,000, 30,000. All are summed up divided by 4. You get 45,000 each. Accounting entries you want. Okay, fine. I'll write the entry, please see. So year 1 entry would be like this. Okay. Lease rental account debit 45,000. Prepaid lease rent account debit 15,000. to bank for the first year. Okay. To bank 60,000. Clear? Second year, what's happening? Second year also almost the same entry comes. Year 2, if you observe, lease rental is 45,000. Here it is 50,000, no? So it's going to be 5,000. Prepaid lease rental will be 5,000. Third year, what will happen? You are consuming the prepaid rent in third year. In year 3, you are paying only 40,000. That means your prepaid rent will be consumed. To prepaid lease rent 5,000 you are consuming. Okay. Fourth year, what will happen? Again, same entry would be there. Lease rental is 45,000. You are actually paying 30,000, and prepaid rent what you are utilizing is 15,000. These are the accounting entries for 4 years. Okay. I hope you understood. All right, fine. So with this, we'll close it and start with some other topic again. Okay. Thank you.